What's good, people? BJournals.com, back with part 2 of our VST series, and in this one we're going to be covering Hypersonic 2. Now, Hypersonic 2 is definitely one of my favorite VSTs simply because it has so many different sounds. It doesn't take long to load up. It just makes everything a lot quicker and easy. There's nothing real difficult about it. So let's take a look at some of the features. So when you load up Hypersonic 2, the first pass it always loads up is called Welcome to the Matrix. Now, Hypersonic 2 by itself is pretty low, so I usually like to turn the level all the way up. Another thing about here is you are offered 16 channels right here. Now, some sounds in Hypersonic are a little thin. So let's say I have a grand piano. I'll load up. Okay. And now let's say I want to layer that with a synth, for example. All I have to do is click channel 2. I'll find whatever I want to layer it with. So maybe a sweep. Turn that up. And then I just hit this little arrow and it combines them. So let's take a listen to that. So really easy to make your own sounds in this. So let's go through some of the other features in it. If you go to your edit tab, you have a couple different features right here. If you want a mono mode, which we probably don't want in our grand piano, but let's just take a listen to that. You can just turn it on. Okay, then you have your glide mode. I usually set it at default or legato, depending on what I'm looking for. Let me pick a synth sound so I can demonstrate that better. Okay, we'll use that sound. Now, the glide mode, I usually only turn it on if I turn it on to mono. So let's do that right now. And then let's turn the glide mode to legato, for example. Now, once you turn to legato, you have an option over here called the glide time. So the glide time, what that does, it affects the time it takes when you push one note and then push another above it or below it. How long does it take the note to bend from that initial note to the other note you hit? So, like, for example, let's hit C3 right here and C4 on our MIDI keyboard. And let's take a listen to how long it'll take to get to the second note. Okay, so pretty annoying, but you guys get the idea. And if you go all the way to the left, it's pretty much instantaneous. Let's take a listen to that. Same notes again. Okay, now your bend up or bend down, that just controls your pitch wheel. And then you have arpeggiator right here. Now, it has all the same settings as Nexus does. The only difference really is that you have to hit a phrase, and it gives you a bunch of different options before it'll actually play anything for you. So you can choose melodies, instrument chords even. Let me turn this off just so you guys can hear it. Okay, even melodies, let's take a listen to some of those. So a bunch of different things. Definitely something that's worth going through and taking a listen to all the different ones. Maybe find something you like, or sometimes when you're just not inspired, it's cool to go through it. You also have your effects channels right here. Now, to load up a new effect, all you have to do is double click and click insert new effect. And then it gives you a lot of effects to choose from. So everything from wah sounds to bit crusher, delay, distortion, EQ. So a bunch of different things all right there. Now, when you load up a sound, your main settings will be right here. Now, this usually includes a attack and a release, but some sounds, let me see if I can find one, for example, do not include attack and release. Okay, like this, for example, it does not include attack and release right here. So you'll probably be wondering where to find those. So if you go to edit and then find this screen right here, by just clicking through these, it should be the second one. And you go right here, filter amp, your attack settings will be right here, as well as your other ASDR settings all right here. Okay. So that's where you'd find those. So that pretty much covers Hypersonic 2, so I hope you guys learned something. Let's move on to the next chapter.